Good morning, good morning, good morning, Naughty Crew. Welcome back to my channel, Naughty Love Movement. It's your host, Naughty, bringing you the latest and trending topics, and I vlog my life. Thank you all for joining me. Today's show is dedicated to a 13-year-old girl who went missing. Her name is Kei'mani, and her last name, I don't even want to mess it up, but her name is Kei'mani. And she's another Black girl lost, neglected. I'm sorry, guys, my allergies are bothering me. I'm all congested. Please thumbs up the video. Please share. Please subscribe. Let's get this story out. And please follow me on all of the free apps. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Like, you're losing your marbles or whatever. Also, donations are definitely appreciated. I wanted to get her story out. Too many similarities with the Naziah Harris case. Let me say what's up to my people. Good morning, Tells. Good morning, Grown Woman. Good morning, Handy B. Good morning, Nephew. Good morning, Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Oh, yes. Shout out to all of my Naughty Crew. Thank you for always pulling up, no matter what story I cover. But this story is out of Toledo, Ohio. I've covered stories where children go missing in Toledo, Ohio. And I believe, like Detroit and Ohio, they're trafficking hubs. I just heard a news report how they busted a human trafficking ring in Detroit. It was a front, like it was a massage parlor fronting, but ultimately it was a human trafficking ring. But Detroit is under pressure right now because Naziah Harris, there was warnings and they chose to ignore it. And you're going to see a lot of similarities in Kei'mani's case. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Lady Mahogany. Good morning. So, father of missing 13-year-old girl is being charged with allegedly abducting his daughter. Police claim he was the last person with the girl, and his details about her whereabouts were inconsistent. So let's get into it. Shout out to the neighborhood talks.
Her pajamas were in the dining room and the floor.
A Toledo family is asking for help to help find a 13-year-old who's been missing now for more than 2 days. Her name is Kei'mani Latigue, and Alexis Means spoke with her family members today. Alexis, what are they telling you?
Well, Sasha, the Toledo Police Department, they went out and they talked to the grandmother today. The grandmother says the teen has never run away. She did not show up for school on Monday, and when you call her cell phone, it goes straight to voicemail.
I just want her to come home safely. I mean, she's not in trouble. She hasn't been in trouble.
This is a picture of Spring Elementary student Kei'mani Latigue. The teen has not been seen since Sunday evening after 10 p.m. Her grandmother says she came home from work and the door was unlocked.
It was Monday morning.
Okay.
And When I came home, her glasses and her underclothes were by the couch in the front room. Her pajamas were in the dining room in the floor.
A Toledo family is asking for help to help find a 13-year-old who's...
She wasn't here. Of course, she was supposed to have been on her way to school, but according to the way that the house was set up, once I got here, because it was in complete disarray, she wasn't here. So I called the school so that I can talk to her, and they said that she wasn't there.
She says Kei'mani's keys were at the house along with her glasses. Her grandmother says the 13-year-old can't see without them. She also told me the stove was on and you could smell gas.
Other than her and I, it's just the two dogs in the house. So who cut it on? So that was kind of suspicious. Then her glasses and her underclothes were by the couch in the front room. Her pajamas were in the dining room in the floor.
Her family handed out flyers telling people if they see her to call police. The teen's grandmother says she's not the type of kid to run off.
She always calls me and asks me prior to going somewhere, can she go? She wasn't here. Of course, she was supposed to have been on her way to school, going somewhere. Can she go? She's a latchkey kid. So she has her own keys for the home. She has a phone just in case anything happens. She can contact somebody. She's very responsible.
Kei'mani's father says he saw his daughter late Sunday night after she called him afraid to be home alone.
I came over here because she said that if it seemed like somebody was trying to break into the house. So I sat for an hour, me and my cousin, we sat over here and we left around like 12:30ish.
The girl went missing from Elm and Bronson. Toledo police are investigating.
They came inside, they looked around, the officer requested to see her room, how it was set up and all of that. And she went through some of her things, but they didn't take anything.
And Toledo police say that if you know the whereabouts of this young little girl, to call Crime Stoppers. Sasham, back to you.
Going somewhere, can she go? She's a latchkey kid, so she.
Okay, so there's a lot of suspicious activity, if you ask me. This is another grandmother raising their grandchild, but the community was outraged right away. We're going to get into the grandmother being arrested. And I don't think that was the case, but let me see. The community was outraged. So this is when they found her body, and unfortunately, unlike Naziah, they did actually find her body, and the community was outraged, as they should be.
And she's still not showing no grief about her grandbaby. Nothing.
Why is she still here?
Why they ain't locked her ass up? She's part of that shit too. Your own grandbaby.
No tears. Oh, that's your grandbaby though, right? No tears. That's your grandbaby though, right? She called and confirmed it with me on the phone before she even got her routine here. No tears. No tears.
That shit crazy. She need to go down.
Ain't showing no emotion, and all she gotta say is back the fuck up. And
she need to go down.
I got listen right now in Chicago, bro. I've been on the days behind this line. Why would she even be giving a statement right now, bro? Because she know the city will tear that ass up about that baby girl. What is you talking about? Whatever person you like.
Their jobs right. That's why Cleveland is everybody. The dad and the cousin. She's fucking the dad. The cousin in jail. They arrested the cousin. You going to jail? You going to jail? That's what we said. But she the biological mama.
So did they take the other Dorothy over there to go identify? Yeah, they took her back there. But they didn't let her own mom go down there. I'm ready, right? I ain't trying to get. I want something in my girl.
And I don't care what. My baby will never see her fucking sister again, bro. I don't care. And then how they allow their friend to go back to you and not the daughter? How you allow your other friend to go back and not the daughter? That don't make no sense.
I'd have been back there on my kids, bro. I wouldn't have gave a fuck.
They found the body up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought it down. You seen it? It was in a...
So what happened? How was she found? This is just so sad. All right, but the father has been charged in the case. Shout out to News Nation. Yes, please get these likes up. All right, so father charged with the red rum in case of missing Ohio teen. Kei'mani Latigue, 13 years old, disappeared last week. Her body was found in an abandoned home in Toledo, and the warrants is out for the father. So the body of the missing teen girl was found in an abandoned house on Monday, and her father has been charged with the red rum. Authorities in Toledo, Ohio, confirmed the body belonged to 13-year-old Kei'mani Latigue, who had been reported missing last week. An autopsy will be performed to determine how she died, authorities said. Kei'mani's body was reportedly found on the second floor of an abandoned house in the city. Her mother, Tiara Caston, told local reporters there was no reason for Kei'mani to be in the area. So Kei'mani Latigue's mother last saw her on March 15, and according to her mother, Kei'mani only went to school, to basketball, and back home. Caston said she last saw her daughter on March 15th when Kei'mani's father brought her to Caston's home and they played video games. Kei'mani's father, Darnell Jones, was initially charged with abduction. After Latigue's body was discovered, Toledo police announced he had been charged with the red rum and that there was an open warrant for his arrest. An affidavit alleges Jones was the last person with Kei'mani before she disappeared. Investigators said he gave inconsistent statements about his activity and Kei'mani's whereabouts. The affidavit cited phone and surveillance video as evidence when filing the charges. So Kei'mani Latigue lived with her grandmother. After Kei'mani was reported missing, Jones told reporters he saw her late on the night of March 16. He said she called and said she was afraid to be home alone. So he and his cousin went to sit with her. Kei'mani lived with her grandmother, Dorothy Latigue, who said when she arrived home the following day, the house was a mess. The stove was left on, and Kei'mani's keys and glasses were in the home, even though Kei'mani could not see without them. This is just sad. This is just sad. Please thumbs up the video. Please. Okay. Lady Mahogany said allegedly the bio mom had her at 14 and the foster mom lied to CPS and got custody of her. And this is just a testament that our foster care and our CPS system really needs to be reconstructed because they are failing children everywhere. Everywhere. Okay? So they said the grandmother has been arrested, but they said they did that for her safety because you see the community outrage.
But where is she?
You did that to your own grandbaby. Nigga, when the fuck is this will be reciprocated, period. I don't give no fuck about how the fuck none of y'all feel, bitch. And I done had shit to do with it. Flash. I ain't stupid. Dorothy, you might not have nothing to do with it, but you know what's going on.
No, the fuck I don't. No, I don't.
Yes, you do, Dorothy.
Thanks for passing judgment.
Too much stuff going on.
Not at all. 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 Not that motherfucking. How about the fucking focus on her bringing her out about this motherfucker? That bitch is lost. That bitch is lost. Slap the fuck out. You know what you did to her.
This is just sad. This is just sad. Another black girl failed. It's ridiculous. I believe they caught up with her father. I think that's what this is. Hold on one second. And then we're going to get into the Facebook group.
I received a call we never want to get. One of our officers was involved in a police-involved shooting. Immediately went to scene to speak to our officer, one of our SWAT officers, a dedicated officer, highly trained, as you know, our Special Operations Bureau, longtime member. He's okay. Thank God he's okay. When I heard about this case, this was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody. Our SWAT team will go out looking for you. This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was murdered, raped, had her hands cut off, and her throat almost cut off. This is an absolute animal that came into our town. I understand some of your editors won't let you print the word animal or view the word animal. If people are more offended to how I'm describing him, how he treated that girl, that's on them, not on me. Again, I'm glad our officers are okay. Our SWAT are the best of the best. We just send a message. You murder somebody, do not come to this town.
Period. So apparently they took the father out. Okay. So then I said, I went to look at the Facebook group. Justice for Kei'mani Latigue. Hold on. So this is the dad. The flyers. This is the warrant for his arrest. She's a beautiful young girl. This is the home that she was found in. Too much. Okay. This is just a lot. This is a heavy story. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so here's more details.
His teenage daughter in Toledo ends here in Columbus. We were there moments after police were called to Denison Avenue and shots were fired.
Here was a look at where this all happened right around 10 o'clock this morning. It is right at the corner of Denison and 2nd Avenues, right there in Victorian Village.
Columbus police identifying the suspect as Darnell Jones, who also goes by Darnell Ogletree. This is video as he talked with a reporter from our station in Toledo about the disappearance of his daughter last week. We have that live team coverage right now. Lisa Rontala here with the horrific details of the homicide investigation.
But we're going to start right now at 5 with Steve Levine with details about what happened this morning between police and that suspect.
Well, the shooting happened right behind me this morning here in Victorian Village. Police say Jones, after he was shot, was rushed to the hospital and taken into surgery. He is expected to be okay. SWAT officers were not wounded in this gunfire. And tonight, investigators trying to figure out exactly what happened moments before this shooting. Crime tape wraps around this intersection in Victorian Village Tuesday morning after gunfire is heard by neighbors.
I heard clearly pop, 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 and people talk. It sounded a little bit like fireworks.
Columbus police tell us SWAT officers came into contact with Darnell Jones, wanted out of Toledo, at this intersection at Denison and 2nd Avenues. Franklin County court documents we obtained say Jones pulled out a gun and fired at officers.
At some point during the interaction with SWAT officers, I can confirm that an officer did discharge their firearm, striking the suspect.
This is a photo a neighbor provided to us of a gun recovered by police near the shooting scene. CPD telling us officers had started to watch the suspect 2 days ago after learning he may be in the area. Investigators now trying to determine what brought Jones to Victorian Village.
That is one of the things that investigators are actively trying to determine right now, because we don't believe there's any reason for him to be in this specific area in terms of knowing someone or trying to engage in any additional criminal activity.
The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation now taking over the shooting investigation because it involves a Columbus police officer. Neighbors here now waiting to learn what happened.
Living down here in the metro, you know, small petty stuff happens. I mean, they're very surprised this happened on our corner.
I did learn that body-worn camera did record the shooting, and police say it could be released and made public as early as tomorrow. We did reach out to Police Chief Elaine Bryan, requested a one-on-one interview to discuss this with her. We're waiting to hear back. We're live here in
My bad, guys. Sorry, I was on mute. Let me go back. So this is the family. Kei'mani's mom. All right, a teacher spoke out. This is her dad.
Going through some things, man. I don't know what the fuck to do. Y'all, I'm really going through some things and people don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not mad. Anger. And I'm just trying to do the right thing. I pray. I read my Bible. I try to help out people the best as I can. And I'm just not feeling this.
Yeah, those are the real biological parents.
And I ain't financial or none of that, bro. If you thinking that's what it is, it's nothing like that. It's just something mental. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through something mentally and physically fucked up with me. I ain't been feeling the same. All I got to do is just keep trying to stay good, be good, man. That's all. I ain't get on here to have nobody show sympathy, nothing, or anything. It's just so much shit happens to people out here, and nobody know what really the real stories be. So, I just get on here, try to let people know what's going on. If you care, you care. It's just something mental. I just want a hug, y'all. Give me a hug. A hug would be wonderful. I'm gonna try to figure something out. But fuck what my issues is. Somebody talk to me, get my mind off of all this bullshit. What y'all doing today? You have always known, huh? Hey, Randy. Booter, you remember when you told me that God got a plan for me? You told me God got a plan for me.
This is her biological father. So I'm playing this video just so we can kind of get a sense of who he is. And as you can see, it looks like he has some mental health challenges going on.
And that's the reason why I keep going through all of this shit. Because he keep putting me through the test. When is the test gonna be over, bro? I just want it to be over with. I hate the way I think. I hate the way I see things. And all I do is sit back and try to just act like I don't see shit. Because if I do something about it, I'm going to jail. I'm the one getting in trouble. I just want to know what's the real purpose for me to be here, man. I literally like helping people. I like doing yard work. I like working with people in general. But yet, it's always, I feel like something is being thrown at me. If that makes sense. I don't know. But then again, I can't keep crying about shit. I can't keep putting myself down. Like, I got jobs lined up, y'all. I got shit lined up for like the next fucking month to where I can make some money, to where I can live good. But it's just so much shit inside of my head that I don't want there. I'm just about to sit here for like.
All right, so that's just to give us, let me make sure I'm not moving. That's just to give us a sense of who he was. And it definitely seems like he has some mental health challenges. So it says 13-year-old Kei'mani Latigue found in a burned down abandoned house with her hands cut off, unalive. People are sick as fuck. And the daddy is the suspect. Let's talk about it. Poor baby. All right, let's get into this. So many people fell Kei'mani Latigue. I'm sorry, baby girl. CPS especially should be held accountable. Absolutely. And we've seen the same thing with the Naziah Harris case. Just recently, Detroit police spoke up and said, like, they failed her. They admitted it. But CPS, I don't see them stepping up and saying that they dropped the ball. It's crazy. So let's get into some of these messages that are being posted in the Facebook group. Make sure y'all can see me. All right. This is from Kei'mani Ann. She says, I was her teacher. She told us she didn't feel safe. She told us she was terrified to go home. We all saw the marks, bruises, injuries. I made multiple reports to CPS trying to get her the help she desperately needed to keep her safe. All of our voices were left unheard. CPS should be held accountable. We told them over and over again. So she said, Kimberly Grimes said, Kellyanne, they absolutely should be held accountable for not doing anything. Now this precious child was taken too soon. Same thing in the Naziah Harris case. The family reported it. Nothing was done. All right. This person says, sickening. Thank you for commenting and for caring about her and trying for her. I'm so sorry you're experiencing this right now. I'm determined to think of a way to change this or address it. This person says, so go after them. If you can't trust family, there's really something wrong with our system and things. Vonna Too Good Wop said, this ish is sad because I done been to that house on many occasions and something just wasn't right. She could never go outside and Dorothy was always so mean to her. I never knew about the abuse, but I've always heard stories about the men she kept over there and wanting to do actual things to her, but didn't know if it was true. Smiling in my head. I feel like there was something I could have done and have failed. You as well, all the signs where there. I'm sorry, Kei'mani. Child. This was her desk. What is wrong with this country? That was Kei'mani. Beautiful little girl. Beautiful little girl. This is so sad. So let's look at this. I apologize again. She probably was fighting for her life to get him off of her when he was raping her. She scratched him badly. So there was probably DNA pieces of his skin under her fingernails. And that's why he took her hands. Wow. Columbia PD still said her neck was almost cut off. Please thumbs up the video and please, if you could donate to the channel, you know YouTube does not like these type of stories. So this is a recent picture of her father. This is the scene of the crime. Child. She was just days away from her 14th birthday. This is her biological mom. Let's see what this story is.
I came over here because she said that if it seemed like somebody was trying to break into the house. So I sat for an hour, me and my cousin, we sat over here. And we left around like 12:30-ish.
Police are looking for the father. Tempers flared as family and friends rushed to the scene after hearing a body was found in the rundown home.
I came over here because she said that if it seemed like somebody was trying to.
Y'all didn't hang up no flyers?
She out here looking for her granddaughter. Y'all speaking so bad on this lady. She out here searching door to door with it, man. They everywhere with it. Abandoned churches, houses, they in there looking for that girl.
Y'all didn't hang up no. I remember the last day. I'm just like you.
She looks so much like Naziah here. I can't help but.
Well, you know it.
So this video was taken at a hotel in 2023 when Naziah was first. Oh, wait. That is Naziah. Why are they including that?
If they see her to call police, the teen's grandmother says she's not the type of kid to run off.
She always calls me and asks me prior to going somewhere, can she go? She's a latchkey kid. So she has her own keys for the home. She has a phone just in case anything happens. She can contact somebody. She's very responsible.
Kei'mani's father says he saw his daughter late suddenly handed out.
All right, I guess they just like comparing all the similarities and how she was felt. Yeah, you see something, say something. All right, we saw this. Oh, look at my video coming up. That's crazy. All right, rest in peace, Kei'mani. This is just sad. I'm going to keep my eyes out on more updates on the story. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the donations. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Thank you for the super sticker, Brie. Grown woman, thank you so much. You said my heart aches. I'm so angry. I am too, y'all. I've been watching the story, but I just wanted a show dedicated just to her, so I could talk about it in depth. But I don't know if the father was deleted or not. Hold on, let me look it up. So USA Today, at least this story went national before Naziah Harris' story did. All right, so let's look at this. Shout out to USA Today. Hey, D-Smith. All right. So, Kei'mani Latigue's father is arrested for her red rum. Police say the case is horrific. Darnell Jones, 33, was injured Tuesday when he exchanged GUN fire with the Columbus SWAT officer about 140 south of where he is wanted in Toledo for his daughter's red rum. So at least he's alive to face the charges. A man suspected of abducting and deleting his teen daughter in Toledo, Ohio, was SHOT and injured Tuesday by police officers about 140 miles away from in Columbus, authorities said. Darnell, 33, was wanted in Toledo on kidnapping and red rum charges after investigators discovered the body of a 13-year-old Kei'mani Latigue in an abandoned building. Latigue was found dead Monday, just shot a week after her March 18th disappearance. Since shockwaves through northern Ohio City, located on the western tip of Lake Erie. Toledo police named Jones, the girl's
in
father,
St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra.
as a suspect due to inconsistent statements he provided to investigator and because he was the last known person to be seen with Latigue. The same thing with Jarvis Butts and Isaiah Harris. He was the last known person. Jones, who also used the last name Ogletree, was then injured Tuesday when he exchanged GUN fire with Columbus SWAT officer just northwest of the city's downtown area. Ciao. So Columbus police have been surveilling Jones for at least 2 days before the shooting, which occurred at about 10 a.m. Tuesday in a neighborhood known as Victorian Village, according to Columbus police and court documents. When SWAT officers confronted Jones on the street, he pulled out a GUN and shot them, according to probable cause affidavits obtained Wednesday by USA Today. The officer returned fire, hitting Jones multiple times, the affidavit states. So he must be in a hospital right now. Jones was then transported to the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center for medical attention. As of Tuesday, Jones was in stable condition and was expected to survive. Columbus Police Sergeant James Fuqua, a spokesman for the division, told the dispatch no officers were hurt in the encounter. Fuqua added, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, an agency under the state's Attorney General's office, will investigate the incident as is policy for any shooting involving police. This is crazy. All right, so Darnell Jones is set to appear in court. Jones is due to appear in court Wednesday in Franklin County Municipal Court in Columbus. An online court docket shows. In addition to charges he faces in Toledo, Jones has now been charged by Columbus police with felonious assault. Toledo police have been searching for Jones since naming him Sunday as the suspect in disappearing and now red rum of his daughter. Latigue was found dead early Monday when Toledo Police Department investigators searched inside a burned out house on Miami Street. Local outlets reported, including The Blade. Let me see. Did he go to court already? Let's check. Please thumbs up the video, Naughty Crew. Let's get in the algorithm. Let's get in the algorithm, please.
On Plus, I'm Sophia Periconi. We continue to track details about the disappearance and death of 13-year-old Kei'mani Latigue. First, we go to the latest on the investigation. We're working to gather more information about a shooting in Columbus this morning that may be connected to Kei'mani's murder investigation. The president of the Columbus Fraternal Order of Police says a man who was shot by SWAT this morning is wanted for a murder of a teenage girl here in Toledo. However, neither he nor a spokesperson for Columbus police would confirm if that man is Darnell Jones. Here's what the FOP president had to say.
When I heard about this case, this was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody. Our SWAT team will go out looking for you.
We are working right now to confirm if the man shot this morning is Darnell Jones. He's wanted for the murder.
We want to know specifically at your home. There was a lot of speculation online that you were being arrested, but when we checked with police, that was not the case. So can you further clarify on exactly what
This
did
is her
happen
grandmother.
yesterday at your home?
Well, I was called and told that there was a mob of people in front of my house. They were angry. It was more or less the people that were here earlier waiting to see if it was Kei'mani that was in the home. And basically some people from the neighborhood had contacted me and said that there was a mob in front of my house and they were talking about what they were going to do to me once I came home. So the police, the detective said that she would have a unit come out and help me get my things and more or less escort me off the property. I asked to be handcuffed just so they can get the away from my property.
Are you scared?
So no, I was never arrested. I was taken downtown, but I was never arrested.
Are you scared for your safety right now?
I am.
What are some of the things that you've been hearing and receiving from people?
They said they was gonna blow up my house. They said they was gonna do harm to me. It's just been a barrage of different things that they've been stating.
And now, yesterday, or let's backtrack first for a little bit. So you are the guardian of Kei'mani, or you were the guardian of Kei'mani, correct?
I am the legal guardian of Kei'mani.
Okay. So in terms of taking care of her, when was Kei'mani placed under your care?
A year ago.
So you take care of her.
She's been in my home for the past 5.5 years, but I just obtained legal custody of her a year ago.
Were you and Kei'mani close?
We were.
What were some of the things, trying to think of her and paint a memory of her in a good light, right now with everything that's going on, what was Kei'mani like? Tell me a little bit about how Kei'mani was in the time that you've got to know her.
Kei'mani was phenomenal. Kei'mani was a helper. Like she was older than what she appeared to be. Like, you know how they say somebody has an old soul? She was that. She loved older music. She loved playing video games. She loved the friends and family that she was allowed to be around. She played basketball for Spring Elementary. She was highly intelligent. So I'd like to clear up the mental issue statements. No, she was not mentally ill in any way. We had her, assessed, and they didn't feel as if anything was wrong with her mentally. So that was not a issue. But back to Kei'mani, she would, like, say for instance, someone would come over and they had children. They didn't have to worry about their kids because Kei'mani immediately embraced them and would play with them, kid stuff. She was phenomenal. Like I said, she was like no other kid her age.
What school did Kei'mani go to?
She went to Spring Elementary.
And we were told that at that time she was doing good in school as well too, correct?
She was. She had brought her grade point average up from a 3.4 to a 3.9. And actually they were going to have an award ceremony for the basketball players today at 5:30. But when I divulged to them that she had passed, they've rescheduled it. She was going to receive her trophy for being, on the team and stuff.
And she has a birthday that's coming up, correct?
Her birthday is Friday.
And she would have been turning 14.
She would have been 14.
Did you have any plans for her birthday?
We were going to have her a large birthday party because it would have been her first birthday where, once again, all of my children were together and could participate in the party. Her mom was supposed to come and everything. So I asked her early on, what type of party do you want? She said she wanted a basketball themed party. So that's what I bought. Things that revolved around her playing basketball. I'm still receiving stuff in the mail for that.
So there's been some confusion now in terms of when it comes to family, you know.
Right. I was confused by that statement too. Like the family she was allowed to see. This is just all too familiar. I mean, she's very calm. She seems angry when she's talking about this situation. And granted, everybody handles grief differently. So who are we to say how she should be talking, feeling, and things like that? But it's some questionable things that she's saying.
Who's her biological father? Who is her biological mother? And then also, was she in the foster care system? Can you clear up a little bit of all of that? You know, when Kei'mani was placed in your care, you know, when is the LCCS? Who exactly did she come from, and how did she?
She came from her other legal guardian. I choose not to state her name, but she came from her other legal guardian because the other legal guardian and I were best friends. The other legal guardian is my daughter, Kei'mani's mom, godmother. And we had already discussed when early on, because she's been with.
You know when it's time to go to the doctor. You know when it's time to get your car tuned up. But
thumbs up the video, okay? So this is Kei'mani's grandmom. I just want to get an inside view.
Person since she was 9 months old. My daughter has never really had custody of Kei'mani. So she's been with this person since she was 9 months old until, like I said, maybe 5.5 years ago. Now, off and on, this person, we would interact.
Look at how she's referring to her own child. This person. Okay, her body language showing that she's telling the truth.
And, you know, do different things with her, for her, or I would contact her and tell her, well, I need this, or Kei'mani would like that. And she would come by and oblige, and we would commence. It's just too much.
Earlier you mentioned when you were talking about what Kei'mani was like, you know,
I think she's like overwhelmed with the whole situation.
You had mentioned that when family members did come over, who were allowed around her. Can you expand on that? Is there family members that weren't allowed around her?
No, it's just not very many that came around. And those that did, you know, she acted, as far as I'm concerned, she acted accordingly. She embraced all children, bad or good.
That's what it's giving, Couture Bay. Like the mama ain't ish or the daddy ain't ish. Okay.
Okay. Next question.
So now we do know that Darnell, you know, people are looking for Darnell Jones right now. The police are looking for Darnell Jones.
Look, at least she was out here looking for Kei'mani. We saw video. I showed you video footage of them showing that the grandma was looking for her, unlike Naziah Harris' family. Okay, they did not care about her.
And there's an arrest warrant out for him. Do you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Oh, well, to my knowledge, he was just arrested in Columbus. He just recently had a shootout with the police in Columbus. They're saying that he confessed to her murder, and no, I take that back. They're saying that he confessed to her rape and slitting her throat.
Wow.
How does it feel to learn that?
I can't even say.
You know, as the police report mentions, Kei'mani was last seen with Darnell. You know, do you have any regrets of letting Kei'mani go with, as you're her guardian, do you have any regrets of letting Kei'mani go with Darnell?
I do. I do, only because, like I said, I feel deceived. I feel like this was pre-planned. I feel like you meant to do this. I feel like you was grooming her.
Wow.
When you say grooming her, is there things that you saw before this leading up?
No, there I never saw anything out the ordinary. But when molesters decide to choose prey, they groom you first. So they give you gifts. They try and make you comfortable with them. They try and say little things to you that you.
I'm glad I found this interview. Please thumbs up the video. This is giving us an inside track. I'm right now, from where I stand, I cannot villainize the grandmother. All right. She was just trying to pick up the slack of the lack thereof of her parents. She loves her grandchild. I see, and as the interview goes on, you see her emotion. I see that she really cared about Kei'mani, unlike the Naziah Harris case, where Shannon and Annette, they was just like, Naziah ain't bring her ass home. Naziah, please thumbs up the video, and please feel free to donate to the channel. This is very insightful here.
And they can keep secret, and then eventually they pounce. And that's how I feel that oh God, how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
There's also comments, and we're just trying to address those and get those addressed. But there's comments online and speculation again that
right. I see y'all in the comments. There's many stages of grief. You go through sadness, you go through anger. It's an up and down process. They know where the body is located. Hi, Deasia. Thank you for joining. Oh, Deasia. Hey, boo. She said, from what I've seen, the grandmother had a CPS case open with the child. Really? Okay.
You know, Kei'mani, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, abuse in whose eyes? Because she was not abused. Yes, she was chastised whenever she was wrong or did things wrong. Other than that, she was not abused. She was not just whooped for no reason or just because I felt like it. I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy. And they came in, they did a case study and closed it. They've stated there's a way to chastise children without physically harming them, and you need to whoop them on their behind, nowhere else. So, okay, with that in mind, I knew that.
Hey, Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank. I'm a huge fan. Hey, what is your number?
Please thumbs up the video. This is very insightful. Not they called the CPS for her whooping her grandchild for bad behavior. Child, I got whoopings.
Oh, she didn't have like bruises all over.
How long ago was that when they came into your home?
Okay, and here's the other thing. She played basketball, which is a contact sport. Who's to say those bruises didn't come from her playing basketball?
I would say the latest, it was approximately 7 months ago.
And so you say the latest. So was it a few times that they came into your
It
home?
was twice total.
So twice total that they came into your home. Check. Okay. And it was all for like you mentioned, what you just said earlier.
Yes.
Explaining. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of,
No, she was saying the school called CPS. And I read you the text messages or the post that the teacher posted saying that she seen bruises all over her. But Kei'mani was saying that she was scared to go home. What was she scared of? Did she specifically say she was scared of the grandmother, or was she scared of her dad, the predator?
this whole situation. So you were not arrested, correct? And that's
Correct.
what, you know, a lot of people seem to think as they saw you going out and cuss. That's what you asked for, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so my first question for you, can you tell me your relation to Dorothy?
I'm Dorothy's second oldest daughter. I'm Kei'mani's aunt. My name is Sanika. I live in Indianapolis. All this that is going on is just, it's devastating. You wouldn't think that, you know, you see it happen around the world, but when it hits close to your heart, you really just be thinking like, did I do something wrong? Did I fail her? She didn't have the life to live that we have got to grow and live. She was only 13. So to know that somebody that I trusted, which was her father, to come through and deceive us just to get to Kei'mani in some sexual way or a harmful way, that hurts me to the fullest. At the point I feel like I failed her. Me as being her aunt, a person that she could run to and tell anything and everything to. That was that was that was my girl. That was my baby. And to hear all of this, to know all of this, and to be going through all this and hearing it for as long as that it went on, it's very devastating. I see so many people that are supposed to be my family that's going against my mom and me for that instance, and saying like, oh, you know, she failed her, she had something to do with it, she had this and that. It doesn't matter at this point. For right now, and until we get justice for Kei'mani, it's all about Kei'mani. What I would like to say is there's a lot of people on the internet starting GoFundMe's, and that's not what we need right now, because it's not what Kei'mani needs. The funeral home has objected to say that they're going to come and pay for everything. So there's no need for any GoFundMe pages, any of that. Everything is being taken care of that needs to be taken care of by her family, her immediate family.
Does it upset you that there are GoFundMe's? Some of them, I think, in cases might be scams too, as well, that are going around.
What upsets me is that people are starting these GoFundMe pages and putting Kei'mani name underneath it, and they know that it's going to get viewed, and people have sympathy and feel some type of way about that. And some of them can be scams, but I know some of them have come from family members. When just let the immediate family handle that. Like, what y'all gonna do with the money if y'all not turning it into the funeral home? There's no need. Let us handle it. Y'all just sit back and give us the emotional support that we need. That's what we need right now. As a family, as a community, we should all come together and just give each other the emotional support that we honestly need. And that's just what I ask for everybody to, you know, calm down, breathe. I know this is a hard time, because it's not just a hard time for y'all. This is a rough time for me. I just need y'all to come together and understand that we need each other as a community, as a family, and emotional support is what we need the most in this situation.
You know, yesterday the crowd was, yesterday you were here, I'm assuming, you know, the crowd was very upset, lots of emotions going through too, you know, especially at this time with such a sensitive situation. You know, we've heard multiple comments out in the crowd, you know, attacking or pointing fingers at your mom. So, you know, what has it been like trying to be her support system and helping her out?
In a way, you have to be mature enough to decide, am I going to follow along with the crowd, or am I going to, you know, stick around with the loner? I'm to the point where I'm not following nobody. I'm going with what's right. If it was your mother, if it was your niece, would you console your mother? Would you console your, you know, the person that was closest to her, who lived with her? I'm not out to have a torch in the pitchforks and all out to go against anybody except the person who did this, which I believe was her father, Darnell. I don't have any other anger pushed towards anybody else. I'm angry that this happened, but I'm angry at the person who did this.
Do you know if have you been in contact with Tiara, the mother?
Yeah, I've been in contact with my sister. It's been briefly. It's been over through text. Like I said, I live in Indianapolis. I seen her yesterday, but that was very brief. It wasn't even more than 5 minutes. It was more or less that she wanted to show me my other niece, Kazaria, which is Kei'mani's youngest sister. But it wasn't like it was oh, sis, what are we gonna do? Any of that. And I don't wish this on nobody. I really don't. I could, you know, your mind go different places when it's a baby. That was a baby. like I said, I have a very close relationship with Kei'mani. She was a tomboy. She wasn't out looking for, trying to be fast or, mischievous or any of that. So for her mother to come down and have all this to say and all that, Tiara, where was you for the past 4 years? We haven't seen you since Kei'mani TikTok party.
Period. Period. The mama ain't ish. The daddy ain't ish. Thumbs up the video. Yo, where were you? Why weren't you there for your child?
You haven't called her. You haven't sent her anything. You haven't said, oh, baby, I'm going to come get you for a weekend. We haven't seen you until this happened. Why we got to see you when it's a tragic moment? So, Tiara, where do you stand?
And Tiara lives in Cleveland, correct?
Yes.
And so the past 4 years, you're saying there was very little communication.
Very, very minimum. It wasn't even, she'll call my mom. She'll go through me and say, have you talked to mommy? And I'm like, no, about what? And she'll say, oh, well, she got custody of Kei'mani and she's trying to get child support from me. So it wasn't that Tiara was concerned about Kei'mani. It was more of the why she want child support from me.
What is the relationship between your mother and your sister, Tiara?
It's very distant. They had their words. They fought. Kei'mani mother has a godmother that Kei'mani was with before my mom got her. And there was no communication then from Tiara. I feel like Tiara just let her go. Because any mother would be on her toes to get her children back. That wasn't the case here. It just wasn't.
When was Kei'mani taken away from Tiara?
I'll say about 7-8 months. And then Tiara godmother stepped in and got custody of Kei'mani, which would have been around 9 months. Yeah, and Kei'mani had been with that lady from 9 months all the way up until about, I'd say 5.5 years ago. So it wasn't like Tiara was actually in the picture, saying, hey, maybe I can start getting myself together to get my child back so nobody else can get hurt.
You ever worried for Kei'mani's safety with any of the family members or anyone?
I wouldn't say I was worried because I was here. I was here every week.
This is a good interview with child. She is getting to the nitty gritty of what is going on. Deadbeat. This goes to show that it's not just men that are deadbeats. Women be deadbeats too. And it's just like, use protection if you don't want no kids. Like, Kei'mani ain't asked to be here, but she's here.
Winter break, spring break, holidays, birthdays, I was here for Kei'mani. Yes, you come and you enjoy time with your family, but I was here for my niece. I also brought my youngest sister and her 2 kids from Indianapolis to be here for Kei'mani because we've been in the system before. So I know how it feels to feel like, dang, I'm at somebody's house or
whoop. Y'all clock that, T? They've been in the system before. Why? Something is off here. Something's off. Why were they in the system?
Not feeling not wanted. I know those feelings. So I tried to give Kei'mani that at all times because she wanted and loved by her aunts. And this is just devastating that I have to go through this for the rest of my life and knowing I'll never have the embrace of my niece, the, hey, TT, what you doing? When you coming down here, I'll never get to hear that from my baby again. And that's what kills me the most. I just wish that when I was down here last, that I had just taken her to Indianapolis with me. So this would have never happened. A lot of things, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but at the end of the day, I just really wish that whatever happened and whoever did this, y'all didn't have to do that to her. There's plenty of people out here with, grown people that put themselves out there to be, the sex workers or whatever it may be. You didn't have to do this to a child. There was nothing that Kei'mani would have done to make you hurt her. So she was a very timid kid. tomboyish, reserved. She wasn't, loud and out there. So it's just devastating that me and my family have to go through this.
Is there anything else that you would like to add at this time of the interview? Anything else that I didn't ask, maybe?
I just want people to understand that family is family. And at the end of the day, don't be so eager to go against your family. Talk to your family and talk to the children. These children may be scared to talk to the parents about things that's going on or what may be going on because they feel like they may get in trouble. But make it known that to your kids that you can talk to me. Make it very open. You can talk to me about any and everything. Because that's what these kids need to hear nowadays. Instead of going on social media and talking to somebody over social media about it, like he did this or she may done that. Talk to your family because they can handle. They're the adults. They're supposed to handle it. So yeah, and it's forever Kei'mani.
Wow. Very telling. Very telling. Mm. I'm just trying to check to see if there's been an arraignment. Let me see what this is. Sorry, guys. Thumbs up the video.
Murder and her death. We've got team coverage tonight on this developing story. Silver Barker spoke with Kei'mani's aunt about this girl and the memory she leaves behind.
Michael Sandlin talked with school officials at Toledo Public Schools about Kei'mani and how she will be remembered by staff and students. Megan Hartnett spoke with an organization about how parents can talk to their kids about difficult and tragic topics. But first, we want to start with the news about Kei'mani's father, who is in a hospital right now in Columbus.
Yeah, let's get to that. We know tonight that her father, Darnell Jones, is in a Columbus hospital after being shot by a SWAT officer in Columbus. It's still unclear tonight who fired first. Columbus police say he is expected to recover and no officers were injured. Police are not sure why he was in Columbus, but did confirm Columbus SWAT was looking into him for at least 2 days. Jones is already facing murder charges in Kei'mani's death. Her body was found yesterday in an abandoned and burned out home on Miami Street in East Toledo. Here is what police in Columbus had to say about the case.
When I heard about this case, this was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your...
Be brought back to Toledo.
Who is one of the aunts of Kei'mani, tells me she wishes she would have taken Kei'mani with her where she currently lives in Indiana. She feels like maybe that could have prevented all of this and what they're currently going through right now. She tells me she had a close relationship with Kei'mani. She says Kei'mani was a very respectful girl and was never mischievous. Right now, Sanika says it's been a rough last few days for her, and the only person she's mad at is whoever did this. She admitted to me that she knows there is some drama between the family, but right now she's not picking sides. She just wants justice for her niece.
And this is just devastating that I have to go through this for the rest of my life and knowing I'll never have the embrace of my niece. The, hey, TT, what you doing? When you coming down here, y'all didn't have to do that to her.
And right now, Sanika says right now what she needs from the community is emotional support. She says she's seen a lot of GoFundMe's being posted right now online, but she says that's not helping, as right now they've heard in Funeral Home who is going to help pay for the funeral services, she tells me. And coming up as well, I do have something with the grandmother who says she had a wonderful relationship with Kei'mani, but she tells me that the county has been to her home more than once. The reason she said that is coming up at 6. Reporting live in Toledo, Silver Barker, WTOL 11.
We learned today that Kei'mani was a 7th grader at Spring Elementary in North Toledo. Students there were in mourning over the loss of their fellow student. Michael Sandlin joins us in studio with more on her background at school. And Michael, I understand Spring Elementary was especially important for her.
Well, Jeff, according to TPS leaders, for a long time, Kei'mani struggled to find a school that worked for her. She was in and out of 6 different schools and often struggled with behavioral issues. But she found a home at Spring Elementary, developing a positive reputation, even making it on the honor roll. TPD sent out this statement, writing, quote, "The students and staff at Spring Elementary are saddened by the loss of their friend and classmate, Kei'mani Latigue. Counselors were at the school yesterday and again today to help students and employees cope with this tragedy. The district's 2 therapy dogs are also at the school. Kei'mani will be remembered as being very personable and someone who got along well with others." Now, we also caught up with a classmate of Kei'mani's, who we found holding up a sign honoring her lost friend outside of her school. Now, with permission from her mom, she told us about who Kei'mani was to her and how people at school felt today following the news of her death.
She was like smart, and then she used to do her work. Sometimes she used to show me how to do some of the work inside my classroom because I didn't understand it. I've seen some people crying and stuff, a lot of people crying, and then people just like not talking how they usually talk, like talking kind of sad and low.
Now, Fisher tells me she hopes Kei'mani is remembered for her kindness, something the school actually planned to recognize. Kei'mani was set to win a kindness award later this week, an award she now will never be able to receive. In studio, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.
Having conversations with others, especially kids, about Latig's murder can be difficult. Megan Hartnett joins us in the newsroom. Megan, how should parents navigate talking about this with their kids?
Kaylee, parents should be aware of what social media and what information their kids are consuming. There are tons of posts and news articles about Kei'mani and what happened, but not all are factual, and some may have more information than a kid can handle. Representatives from the organization Parents of Murdered Children tell me parents should meet their kid at whatever level they can.
It's none of their business. It is. Yeah, they're going to live with this the rest of their lives as well, and they need. It's none of their.
Parents should be honest with kids when they ask questions.
You should never put them in a situation where they feel like it's none of their business. It is. Yeah, they're going to live with this the rest of their lives as well, and they need to be treated in a way is.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This little girl did not deserve this. This little girl did not deserve this. Justice for Kei'mani Latigue. Another Black girl lost and gone too soon. Here is she, just like Naziah, into TikTok, like most of the kids are into TikTok and things like that.
The grandmother and a lot of other people were circulating the other pictures. Nothing about those pictures, specifically the one when she had on was in the TikTok thing, would lead me to believe that that was her. If I saw this young baby out in the street and I'm looking for her, but I had the TikTok picture and I had the pictures when she looked like a child, I'm going to walk right past this person. So it's almost as if they don't want us to find her. I mean, you could tell in the face that it's her.
I can't stand conspiracy theorists. Look, if the grandmama did something, they will charge her. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like at a loss for words. I'm gonna keep my eye out. On this story and look for when he goes to court. Let me see. He has to be arraigned. And it looks like it's going to be a public hearing. So, you know, I'm going to be on it. Yeah, I don't see that he's been arraigned. Indicted on charge of murder for the least assault. That's not him. That's not him. All right. So I'm gonna be looking out for the court hearing. We got a mugshot. So I'm glad they captured him. And according to the grandma, he confessed to graping her. This is just sad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really at a loss for words. I'm really at a loss for words. Because we gotta protect our babies. Seriously. There's a lot of monsters out here that are lurking and preying on our young children. But I believe that Detroit and Ohio are hubs for trafficking. They just busted a case in they busted a trafficking ring in Detroit. Which I believe Detroit is under fire right now, trying to change their reputation. But I remember a couple of years back, I covered a story about all the missing kids in Ohio. But look, this just what was this? 2 weeks ago, they busted a trafficking ring in Detroit.
Are you drowning in
And I suspect that a lot of that is going on in a lot of pedo activity is going on in
Allegedly trafficking a woman at 2 different hotels. Investigators say 29-year-old Rodney Holland is charged with human trafficking and prostitution. CBS News Detroit's Gino Vici joins us from the Red Oak Inn in Southfield to explain how a hotel employee was able to alert police.
Police say they received a tip from the front desk here at the Red Oak Inn on Sunday that a woman was in fear of her boyfriend. But when they arrived, police say they discovered that woman was being trafficked and that boyfriend is now behind bars.
This is the moment Southfield police say they arrested a man now charged with human trafficking and prostitution.
We later identified the suspect as Rodney Holland, a 29 years old, a resident of Ferndale, Michigan.
Chief Alvin Barron says dispatchers got this 911 call on Sunday from a receptionist at the Red Oak Inn on Northwestern Highway for a domestic disturbance.
Hi, I was at the Red Oak Inn on Northwestern Highway at the front desk. A girl just came to the window. She said that her boyfriend was trying to do something to her.
Chief Barron says when officers arrived, they interviewed the victim and quickly realized this was much more than a domestic disturbance.
So the detective shared with me that the very first sign that brought to her attention that something wasn't right and that we may have had a human trafficking component to this was that the victim only knew her boyfriend as Mello. And so red flag number one, how don't you know your boyfriend's name after 4 months?
Holland, who goes by Mello, was arrested on Tuesday and later charged with 2 counts of human trafficking and 2 counts of prostitution. Holland is being held on a $750,000 cash surety bond. He's due back in court March 17th. Chief Barron says the victim.
That's crazy. They also busted a trafficking ring at a massage parlor. But this is a major problem. In that area to me. Like it's horrific. And our children are being disposed of like they're nothing. But we have to protect the children. I'm gonna keep my foot on this story's neck and look for the court dates and stuff like that so that we could cover it over here. But I wanted her to be recognized as another Black girl lost. Another Black girl lost by the hands of her father. It's just people are sick. And I wonder what his history is, what his rap sheet is. Like that video I showed you of him, obviously it's obvious he dealt with depression and things like that. Another teacher is speaking out. Hold on. What the hell? It's Megan. Kei'mani went to at least 3 schools in the past 4 years. I told her when she was in 3rd grade in the 2020-2021 school year. She joined my class at Discover Academy late in the year in March 2021. I remember because we bonded over sharing the same birthday that was coming up March 28th. She attended Discovery for 4th and 5th grade. Then it sounds like she was at Burnett for 6th grade and Spring for this year, 7th grade. Switching schools often was probably a tactic for Granny to stay under the radar of being reported to CPS. Well, Granny, she only was with Granny the past year. Remember, she was with the godmother first, but where the hell was her mama? Period. She said, I only got to have Kei'mani in my class for a few months, but she was truly very special. She lit up a room. She quickly became adored by the school staff. She loved to give hugs. Her smiles were infectious, and she came to optional virtual class meetings just to talk to her best friend for hours. She was so smart. She loved basketball, and she was so kind-hearted. Kei'mani, I'll think of you every day, child. This is... Look at the daddy.
Latigue. Her father, Darnell Jones, is charged with murder in connection to her death. Court records show he has an open warrant for his arrest. We have team coverage tonight as 13 Action News reporter Lily Lowndes takes us into the discussion.
That's nuts. Well, unlike the Naziah Harris case, her body was found, and we'll see. You can't be wrapped too tight to do that to your own child. And I showed you the video of him. It's obvious he suffered with some type of mental illness. All right. But I'll keep my eyes out, Naughty Crew. That's the best we could do. We could keep putting the story out there. See something, say something. Talk to your children. Make sure they're okay. Make sure they're safe. Make sure you're watching who is surrounding your children, especially like little girls when it comes to men. Because it seems to me like there's a lot of sick men out here that have an appetite for young girls. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Like how you make it okay in your mind that it's okay to violate a child like this is beyond me. And to me, pedo activity, that's one of them things that you cannot rehabilitate. I swear for God. I think pedo should be castrated. Seriously. They and don't get me wrong, right? Could do it bad. They harming the boys too. They harming the boys and the girls. It's just like we need to do a better job in this country at protecting children. When you see people have records, pay attention. They have a record for a reason. Don't ignore the red flags. Don't be so desperate for love that you turn the blind eye to people's charges and things like that. That speaks to their character. And just like Shannon, because she ignored the red flag, she put her nieces, her nephews, Naziah, all in harm's way. For what? A man that never wanted her. Yeah, boys are less likely to come forward, you know. I love you, Naughty Crew. I'll keep my eyes out. I appreciate every last one of you joining me. And I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. Please thumbs up this video. Like we got bigger fish to fry than beefing with one another on these YouTube streets. We need to get these stories out here. Okay. This is more important than beefing with any of these YouTubers. There's children suffering out here and not being protected. Please thumbs up the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to my moderators. Thank you all for always supporting. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. One.